What makes a good person? What makes a bad person? It's a philosophical question that has been debated since the beginning of humanity. Is it what you believe? Is it what you intend to do? Is it what you actually do regardless of your intent? This has been debated strongly for many millennia, but one thing everyone can agree on is, I'm not a bad person. Evil is something bad. Very few will let their brains think they're bad, unless they have some antisocial ideal and get a thrill out of being evil, especially if their subgroup enjoys the idea of evil. These people are extremely rare. Everyone has an image of themselves. This image is everything they hold to be good. Because they have this ideal, they believe themselves to be good. Because of this ideal, many people have an idealistic confirmation bias that they live up to their ideal person even if they do the exact opposite and act hypocritically. Evidence of this bias is backed up by the study that 93% of people believe they are above average, which is mathematically impossible. Part of being skeptical and thinking scientifically is to attempt to overcome our natural biases and see if our ideals actually match the reality. Unfortunately, anytime we wake up and realize that our ideal self does not actually match our real self, then we have what is called cognitive dissonance. This causes us a lot of stress and grief and makes us feel like crap, so the worse a person is, the more they have at stake to keep their biases in place. Being good at lying also means being good at lying to yourself, so you don't have to look at what you've done. If you've done something horrible, your brain resists and locks up, because realizing that you truly were a horrible person and did something horrible would be detrimental to your sanity. Your brain couldn't effectively deal with that concept. Being good is accepted by society, and being bad means the ultimate rejection by society. In fact, society is what defines good. In small tribes, they all developed what was good over a period of time. Things like don't kill each other or don't steal from each other were good, because no one wanted that to happen to them. However, their good didn't often extend beyond their tribe. The other people with other ideas of good were evil, because they agreed on different things being good. Therefore, killing these evil people was now good and brought you acceptance by your own tribe. As conquering made possible by agriculture picked up, a large block of people now had to work together. Kings and lords made the definition of good. If their good went too far from the majority's idea of good, then they had rebellion. If they could do what the majority decided was evil, but make it appear good and use the people's perceptions against them, then they could do whatever they wanted until they slacked off and got caught. Many decided that believing in their religion and following it was good. Many others did not agree. This is why freedom of religion came into such a demand, because no one could agree that belief in something was empirically good. Only the people in those beliefs thought that. They did, however, figure out what they all agreed on, and from there we got laws. Unfortunately, many people use their beliefs in their religion as an instant measure of whether or not they or other people are good, and they give themselves a free pass, or other people, especially if they can just ask forgiveness from their deity. That doesn't fix the problem or help the other person they've hurt or inconvenienced. It just makes them feel better and restores their biased opinions of themselves. The "this belief makes me good" mindset just reinforces one's natural bias to assume that they are good. An example of this form of cognitive dissonance is best shown when you watch a video of yourself and you don't know you're being recorded. I have an image of myself in my head. It's pretty cool, intelligent, and whimsical, and very smart, much like the Doctor. When you see me on camera right now, it's how I see myself. It's prepared in an act. However, the rare times I get videotaped, it always embarrasses me. There's footage of me at the Columbus YouTube gathering. You can clearly tell I have some sort of social condition. I move awkwardly, I laugh awkwardly, and I talk awkwardly. Mind you, this behavior usually only shows up when I'm in a group and my Asperger's is pushed pretty hard. It was a lot of fun at the gathering, so I never felt overwhelmed, but it really hurts to watch. Everyone else knows this version of me. They don't know the image I have of me in my head. They still like me, but I don't like the real me. My brain tries to tell me that that's someone else. No one that weird and awkward is as cool as me. But it is me. The me I don't see but everyone else does that interacts with me. I can either learn from it or I can live in denial For a period of time, I may have to do both because I have to analyze and practice changes, which are a lot of work. The new perspective on yourself can shatter your confidence in yourself, so your brain uses denial and mental gymnastics to eliminate that cognitive dissonance. You talk to an Abrahamic monotheist about their God. You ask them what it means to be good, and they have a pretty standard definition, for the most part. Then you bring up things about their God, and they will immediately rush to his defense and rationalize why he's so good. Why? Because on top of the normal stuff we all agree on, a belief in God is also equally considered good, even if they couldn't be further from each other. Their idea of God clashes with the God of the Bible or the Quran, so they have to. This mindset is similar to the idea one has for their significant other. They have an image of their lover that may be very different from how this person really is. Part of the cerebral cortex involved with critical thinking is deactivated when they see or think about this person. They will not logically analyze their idea of their lover. When their idea of their lover and actual lover collide, this can cause huge cognitive dissonance. This is why battered spouses stay with and defend their abusive spouses, as this person who I love couldn't possibly be bad. It's an A equals not A statement. In their brain, it is logically impossible. Many times, people have such messed up ideas of good that they can do horrible things and die thinking they did the right thing. Hitler, as far as we can tell, truly probably believed he was doing the Lord's work and completely believed that Jews were evil. He believed that the science was there to show that people were less than white. When he called for the genocide of lesser races, he probably truly thought he was doing the right thing. He probably had a twinge of guilt and regret, but rationalized it as being similar to the guilt and regret you get from having to put a sick old dog down because it's miserable and in pain. After a little while, you get accustomed to doing things like that without guilt. Hitler probably died believing himself to be a good man while millions were killed or starved so he could feel good about himself. There is a major reason why power is addictive. You now have the power to be free of criticism. Unlike the rest of the world that gets called on anything they may do that is wrong, a person in power can use their power to silence criticism, even on little things, and allow themselves to live in a fantasy of their image instead of being reminded on occasion that they aren't living up to their ideal. George Bush believed himself to be completely different from how his actions played out. How he describes his view of himself in his books, just point that one out. This is called the political bubble that makes politicians seem disconnected from the rest of us. Even Obama has it now, to some extent, and seems to be a bit disconnected from the reality and is nowhere near as sharp a tactician when it comes to public opinion as he used to. This bubble is caused by adoring fans telling you that everything you are biased naturally about yourself is true. You also get a godlike ambience that, while you may be open to good criticism, no one would dare give it out of reverence. Other than Terry Jones and maybe Terry Gilliam, all the other living members of Monty Python, in my opinion, have suffered from this. I don't find them funny anymore. When they put on sketches now, they have like almost no acting skill, especially compared to their genius in their glory days when they had to undergo constant creative conflict with each other in the BBC. George Lucas was treated like a god as well, unquestioned. Everybody kissed his ass in the making of the new movies, and look what a load of crap it produced. Also, people with self-righteous beliefs in their own goodness have been shown to be more likely to do things that go against it. Take Ted Haggard, for example. He believed himself to be completely good, and he was able to rationalize to himself that everything he was doing was perfectly fine. The truth hurts, but it can set you free, or lock you up in a mental institution. This is why when confronting someone with the truth that everyone else can obviously see, such as God isn't real, or your boyfriend is abusive, don't be too offended or angry when they take it as hostility. They need the initial shock to wake them up. Then the time to learn to be honest and skeptical with their own perceptions. So what is good? Religions don't all agree on what is good, so we can't really use that. Philosophy looks like it could work, but the age of the armchair philosophy is reaching its end. Philosophy relies on logic and common sense. Science has little to do with what we assume as common sense, as our perceptions on the issue is usually wrong. like the assumption that religion probably keeps more people out of prison. A study was done and it turns out to be completely opposite of what was common sense. This new marriage of science and philosophy is a branch called ethics. Religion tells us that science can't tell us how to live our lives and be good. Well, guess what? It can through ethics, and we're overturning ideas we assumed were good for generations. Ethics is extremely important with the advancement of new technology because much of it is a brand new way of doing something we have never been able to do in our entire evolution. On top of this, globalization, mostly through communication, is ratcheting up the clashes of morals from different nations. And only ethics can tell us if one side is correct on an issue, or maybe they're both right. Globalization has produced an even larger group of people to decide what is right, so we had better have the actual truth and evidence to come up with a way to help us get along. This globalization is also hurting long-standing nationalism. My country good is now going up against people saying your country bad. The cognitive dissonance from this can either cause a person to lash out, or it can cause self-reflection and go, yeah, this situation, I guess my country is bad. I should do something to try to get that fixed. Nationalism prevents even questioning these things. None of us thinks we're bad people. None of us is perfect. But if we want to become better people, we have to be skeptical and put up with a bit of cognitive dissonance, or we will never progress forward.